Jazakumullah khairan, Shaykhana al-Kareem. What is the ruling, Shaykhana, on a Muslim selling food to eat to a non-Muslim during Ramadan while the people are fasting?
Say that a question again. I'm not really following.
Yeah. What is the ruling, Shaykhana, on a Muslim selling food to eat to a non-Muslim in Ramadan while the people are fasting?
Oh. If you had just asked me this question a bit earlier, it's going to be a bit of time to ask. In general, ya Akhwan, this is something that we are experiencing, especially in the non-Muslim countries. In the non-Muslim countries. In the Muslim countries, we do have selling of the food to the Muslims, but if it's restaurants, they only open just about an hour before breaking of the fast. They don't open, for example, early for breakfast and all of that, because all of the Muslims what? Fasting. And the restaurants will not make money, okay, if they open. And maybe the government as well impose upon them, the restaurants, they're not to open until the late, until just before the sunset, before the iftar. But for the non-Muslims here, everything's open. And also the non-Muslim, most of the people you're going to send them food, let's say, or a deliverer food. You know that these people, they're going to eat what? During the fasting hours, 100%. So you're sure about that. So is this halal for a Muslim to do such a thing, to take from a takeaway from a restaurant and give to the non-Muslims? Okay. First of all, let's just talk about the things which are agreed upon. It is agreed upon that you're not allowed to send food to a Muslim who has no excuse to break his fast in order to eat. Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Cooperate in doing the good. Don't cooperate in the harmful. So you're not allowed to send food to a Muslim who is not exempted from the fast. But you're allowed to send food to a Muslim who is a traveler, because he's got the excuse to eat, who is ill, who is very old, no problem. So we got this as consensus. So I'm not allowed to sell a Muslim who is allowed to, he must fast, and in the month of Ramadan he must fast, and he's got no excuse to break his fast. I can't go and help him, because you're not allowed to cooperate in doing harmful, or udwan, which is something sin. Now, to do with non-Muslim, kafir, is this non-Muslim required for him to fast? We know that even if he fasts, his fast is going to be what? Not accepted. Because he has to be what? A Muslim. He has to be a Muslim. So now we come to this issue that the scholars had differed upon. Is the kafir addressed by the branches of the Sharia? Is he required for him to fast? Is he being addressed by this? Well, first of all, we said he's addressed by this, but we know 100% he's not required to do it, because if let's say he embraced Islam, do we tell him, okay, when did you become an adult? When you were 15. Count from 15 until when you embrace Islam, or do all that fast, or do all the prayer. Do you understand that? So when we say he is addressed by the Sharia, it doesn't mean he is gonna be compensating for them once he embraces Islam. Got it? So he embraces Islam, let's say he's 70 years old. Brother, you have about 55 years to make up for the prayer and 55 years to make for the fast. You say, bye-bye, I don't want Islam. What's this horrible religion? But to clarify the issue, because there is some, so to clarify the issue, it is not correct. Rahmatan bil kuffar, merciful? No. Because of hadith Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Amr al-As, Amr ibn al-As himself, radiallahu anh, when he embraced Islam, the Prophet he put his hand for him, he pulled his hand away for the pledge. He said, what's wrong, Amr? He said, I want a condition for my Muslim Islam. He said, one, that Allah forgives for me what is in the past. It looks like a lot of things he's done in the past. Condition. He said, yeah, Amr, don't you know that once you embrace Islam, that Islam yajubu ma qabla. Islam will destroy what has been before that. So what have you done before Islam? It's been وَالْهِجْرَةِ تَهْدُمُ مَا قَبْلَهَا. And also immigration from that land to far to the Muslim land will And also, Hajj. Hajj will remove everything which is before. Subhanallah. So, this is what the Prophet ﷺ said. Islam, yajubu ma qabla. We know that. Islam, you don't need. So, once you're a Muslim, everything you've done in the past is going to be cleared. You don't need to give zakah on those years and all of that. طيب. So, what is the proof for those scholars who say, Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, that the Muslims are addressed, the kuffars are addressed by the branch of the Sharia? Is the ayat, one of them, for example, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, ما سلككم في سقر. Okay? ما سلككم في سقر. What made you to be in the hellfire? This is the Muslims who are in Jannah asking those who are in the hellfire. What made you to go in hell? قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. We were not praying. ولم نكن نطعم المسكين. We were as well not feeding the poor. وكنا نخوض مع الخائضين. And we used to as well indulge into idle speech and chit-chat and backbiting and all of that. وَكُنَّا نُكَذِّبُ بِيَوْمِ الدِّينِ. And we used to not to believe in the day of resurrection. So what is all of that? Which one of all of that makes them a kafir? The last one, isn't it? Because if they did not make salah, according to ourselves, we say salah is not really, if the person did not do salah, is not a kafir. He's a Muslim, but if he did not salah, he's a Muslim, he's a criminal. If he was a Muslim and did not pay the zakah, still a Muslim. If a Muslim, for example, did not pay the poor people, he's not still a Muslim, but wicked Muslim, evil. If a Muslim, he was speaking backbiting, still a Muslim, correct? But the one makes him non-Muslim. وَكُنَّا نُكَذِّبُ بِيَوْمِ الدِّينِ. So they say the scholars. So if Allah Azza wa Jal is not requiring them to do the prayers and all of that, then all of these ayat will be abath, for no reason being mentioned. So why Allah said, لم نكن من المصلين ولم نكن نطعم المسكين وكنا نخوض مع الخائضين وكنا نكذب بيوم الدين. So what is this ayat then for? If they are saying these things, if they are not going to be questioned by this. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam ya akhwani. And as Imam Shafi'i says, that it is more punishment. They are kuffar, okay, but they will be punished for their kufr and for not doing what they're supposed to do if they are to enter Islam. Do you understand that? It's for the akhirah. But as for the dunya, this person, he is now a kafir. He's being, let's say, addressed by this issue, mukhatab. But is he required for it in the dunya to do it? He's not a Muslim yet. And the reason behind this, we have ikhwani, workers for the Prophet ﷺ or non-Muslims. Like the Jewish boy. Like, for example, when she came, Rayhana and Maria al-Qibtiyya, Coptic, she was Maria al-Qibtiyya. And also the women of the companions women. We've never seen that or heard or been narrated to us that a companion in the month of Ramadan, he will not spend a penny in the house. Why? Because his wife, she's going to eat during the fasting hours. We've never heard about that. Do you understand me? So they used to provide them with the food, provide them with expenditure. They will not torture them to, you have to fast. But they're kuffar. The fast is not going to be accepted. So they used to spend in the houses. But they never stopped it. That's number one. Number two, Prophet ﷺ one day, he said to the companions, and Umar Khattab was listening, regarding silk, when he's being given some silk, he said, this is the dress of those people who got no chance to go to paradise. لا خلاق لهم في الآخرة. They're not going to go, they have no portion of mercy in the hereafter. I mean, they're going to go to hell. That's this silk. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, حلال على إناث أمتي. They are halal for the women to put on, but haram على ذكورها. But they're haram for the male to put the silk which is the real silk, to put it on. One day the Prophet ﷺ, he has a present from Yemen, brocaded silk clothes. He said it to Umar. When Umar, he saw it, he was shocked and terrified. Came, Messenger of Allah, you gave me this. He said, yes. He said, didn't you say that the person who gets it or who abuses it, then he will have no portion of the hereafter? Am I going to be what? Going to hell? He's scared. He said, no, I gave it to you not to put it on. I gave it to you to benefit from it. So what he did, he sent it to his brother who's a kafir. So his brother's going to be doing what? Going to hang it on the wall? It's a dress. He's going to what? Put it on. So we say here, he put it on, that means that kafir is halal for him to put it on. What is haram to aid with if it's haram in itself? I can't provide, for example, alcohol to the kafir. Because alcohol is haram in itself. I cannot provide as well a prostitute to the kafir. Because haram. I cannot provide for example, a pork to the kafir. So you can't deliver a pork because it's a kafir, because pork in itself haram. But I'm delivering food, that's halal food. It's for him as well, when he's eating it, it's halal because it's for him because he's a kafir. And I know he's a kafir. So I'm delivering it him because he's a kafir. So that's where we say the difference among the scholars. They say, one of them says, not allowed to do it, some says allowed. I have read a lot into this issue, and I'm truly convinced that, number one, this person should change his job. Change his job. But if he hasn't got a job, and he depends upon it, then he would do it to send the food to other than his house. He would send the food to those people, kuffar, whom he knows he's going to eat it during the days of Ramadan. And if he is to be a person known to be a sheikh or not, I wouldn't really recommend this, because the kuffar will look at you. You are a messenger of your deen as well. Okay? So the halal food, it's halal in itself. But the haram here is that for person who is supposed to fast is to break his fast with it. But the kuffar, yes, even though they're being addressed, if they are addressed by the Sharia, branch of the Sharia, which again, even if that, it is only in the akhirah they're going to be counted for this, not for the dunya. Because the dunya, the kafir, no matter what he does from the ibadah, it's going to be invalid. All right? And why I say that this person, he would no problem to send the food to the person who's non-believers. And as I said, this is a difference among the scholars. Controversial issue. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
جزاكم الله خير شيخنا.